I'm going to let you in on something that your company's HR department would rather you didn't know. The job posting you're waiting for, it's never coming. In 2026, companies are filling roles without posting them publicly. It's called quiet hiring. And if you're not positioned for it, you're invisible. This episode breaks down exactly how the game works and how you become the obvious choice when opportunity knocks. Here's what's happening behind closed doors. Your company has roles to fill, senior positions, leadership spots, projects that need owners. But instead of posting jobs externally, instead of running expensive recruitment campaigns, they're looking around the room. They're looking at you. Or they're not. The question is, when they scan that room, do they see you? Or do they see right through you? Let's talk about why this shift happened. The job market in 2026 looks nothing like it did 5 years ago. We're in what economists call a low hire, low fire environment. Companies aren't mass hiring. They're also not mass laying off. It's a holding pattern. This creates something interesting, a closed system. The primary path to advancement isn't finding a new job, it's moving up where you already are. Here's a number that should wake you up. 81% of organizations with internal mobility programs report reducing turnover by 30% or more. That's not a small improvement. That's a transformation. And it explains why companies are obsessed with promoting from within right now. Internal hires save organizations an average of 18% in salary costs compared to external hires. That's real money, thousands of dollars per position. But here's what really matters. Employees promoted internally are 40% more likely to stay at the company for at least 3 years. Think about that from the company's perspective. You cost less, you ramp faster, and you're way more likely to stick around. But here's where it gets interesting. Quiet hiring isn't just about promotions. It's more sophisticated than that. According to industry analysis, quiet hiring is not only promote someone, it's also move someone. Promotions are the headline, but lateral moves are the real story. Companies are using lateral redeployments, temporary assignments, and internal project marketplaces to fill gaps without changing titles or posting jobs. So the position you want might never be posted. Instead, someone gets tapped on the shoulder. Someone gets the stretch assignment. Someone gets pulled into the meeting. And if you're not already visible, if you're not already demonstrating the skills they need, you won't even know the opportunity existed. First-year employee turnover dropped from 23.7% in 2024 to 12.1% in 2025. That's a 48.9% decrease. People are staying put. And when employees stay, they compete internally. The job market is inside your building now. Your competition is the person 2 desks over. So how do you win this game? How do you become the obvious internal candidate? Let me break down the strategy. First, find your company's internal talent marketplace. These systems exist now. They're the infrastructure of quiet hiring. Skills-based workforce models and internal talent marketplaces are becoming the infrastructure of quiet hiring, turning who you know mobility into a measurable system. If your company has one of these systems, and many do, make sure your profile is complete and current. Every skill listed, every project documented. Because here's what happens. When a role opens quietly, someone runs a search in that system. If you're not in there, you don't exist. This week, find where that system lives at your company. Update it. If it doesn't exist, create your own visibility through other channels. Now let's talk about the conversation nobody has, but everyone should. Your manager holds the map to your next promotion. Ask them directly, what skills or experiences would make me the obvious choice for the next level role? Write down what they say. This isn't a vague career chat. This is intelligence gathering. You're asking them to tell you exactly what the test looks like. Most employees never ask this question. They assume the path is obvious, or they're too nervous to seem ambitious. That's a mistake. Employees who make an internal move are 75% likely to stay with their organization, compared to 56% for those without such opportunities. Companies know this. They want you to move internally. But they're not going to hand it to you. You have to position yourself. Here's your second move. Volunteer for cross-functional projects. Get your face and your skills in front of people outside your immediate team. Why does this matter? Because quiet hiring decisions aren't made by one person. They're made in rooms where multiple leaders compare notes. If you've only worked with your direct manager, you have one advocate in that room. If you've worked across teams, you might have 3 or 4. Look at your project list right now. If everything you do stays within your department, find a way out. Cross-functional exposure is career currency. Now here's something that trips people up. They're already doing the job, taking on extra responsibilities, filling gaps, but nobody knows it. If you're already doing the work of the role above you, document it. Make it visible. Email your manager monthly updates on your expanded scope. Because here's the brutal truth. Work you don't talk about is work that doesn't count. Not in quiet hiring, not in any hiring. The real battle is employee engagement. Done well, quiet hiring boosts retention and capability. Done poorly, it looks like unpaid scope creep and triggers burnout. So set boundaries. If you're taking on new responsibilities, get a timeline for formal recognition. What would make this a promotion conversation in 6 months? That's not being pushy. That's being professional. Companies respect employees who know their value and communicate it clearly. Add this question to your next one-on-one agenda. Are there any roles being filled internally that I should know about? Just ask. Most managers won't volunteer this information, but if you ask directly, they often can't lie, and now you're in the conversation. Internal promotions are rising in priority because they are faster and lower risk than external hiring when uncertainty is high and skill needs are shifting. Companies don't want to gamble on unknown quantities right now. They want proven performers who already understand the culture. That's your advantage if you're already inside. You're the known quantity. Lean into that. Make sure they see you consistently delivering. Let me give you the dark side too. Not all quiet hiring is good. Some of it is exploitation dressed up in HR language. The line between stretch assignment and unpaid scope creep is fuzzy. You need to distinguish between genuine development and being taken advantage of. Genuine development comes with recognition, title changes, clear promotion paths, visible sponsorship from leadership. If you're not getting those, you're being used. The difference matters. Taking on a visible stretch project with executive sponsorship is smart. Quietly absorbing someone else's job without acknowledgement is dangerous. When new responsibilities come your way, ask, what does success look like and what's the timeline for this becoming official? Don't accept vague promises. If you found this useful, subscribe to get more episodes like this. We cover the strategies nobody tells you about every single week. The data makes this crystal clear. Companies with strong internal mobility retain talent, save money, and build better leaders from within. Your job is to make yourself impossible to ignore when those internal opportunities come up. And they're coming up all the time, just not publicly. Let me give you the rapid-fire recap. These are the moves you make this month to position yourself for quiet hiring. 1. Find your company's internal talent system and update your profile. Every skill, every project, every win. Make yourself searchable. 2. Have the direct conversation with your manager. What would make me the obvious choice? Get specifics. Write them down. 3. Get cross-functional exposure. Volunteer for projects that put your skills in front of different leaders. Multiple advocates beat one. 4. Document and communicate your wins. Monthly updates to your manager. Quarterly visibility with leadership. Work that isn't seen doesn't count. 5. Ask directly about internal opportunities. Are there roles being filled internally I should know about? The question creates the opening. 6. Protect yourself from exploitation. Get timelines. Get recognition commitments. Real development has structure. Scope creep has only promises. Quiet hiring is happening whether you know about it or not. The only question is whether you're positioned for it. Stop waiting for job postings. Start building your internal brand. Make yourself the obvious choice before the opportunity even opens. That's your cheat code for this week. The job market is inside your building. Play the game accordingly.